Hello, my friends. Russell Wright, and I'd like to welcome all of you in Move 37 and Local Agency Elite. We are in launch. Launch means that Move 37 is now active. Why? Because Google I/O 2025 changed everything. And I'm going to talk to you about why. We're going to give you a huge amount of information, and we're going to drop this introduction and overview for the reboot of Move 37 and Local Agency Elite. And of course, everybody else, wherever you are inside of our members area, whether it's Eureka Gain Score, whether it's Q Star, whether it's AI for all, there will be some changes, but don't worry, we'll make sure that you get everything that you need. And as we consolidate everything into Move 37, because we were waiting for this moment where Google took over the AI industry. Now that this moment is here and they've shown their hands, I'm going to explain to you what's going on. We're calling this talk the Google AI mode verdict economy. Verdict economy is something that our team has come up with to prepare you for what's happening. There's a lot of people that are optimization people that have sort of prepared for answer engine optimization. But this is why entity and schema AEO masters are thriving while search engine agencies right now are kind of scrambling. And when I say thriving, I mean those of you who have stuck to your guns with Daryl Osborne and myself, Jimmy Kelly, and others who have been doubling down on entities for the last 20 years, actually more like 15, but you're going to understand why it was worth the wait. And we kind of knew this day was coming. Here's my map created by myself and Kaylin called the future of search, where I've mapped my origin story and the story of search engines all the way back to 1994 and 2000 when I started. We are currently here. Okay, you exist within the insight engines and the answer engines. We're actually a little bit past answer engines. I'm going to show you the reason why. We might have to do more than one video for this, but that's okay. This is an old video I pulled from my channel from over 13 years ago. And it's kind of interesting because you can see this is 13 years ago, but even when I pulled it, even when I uploaded it 13 years ago, it was 10 years old. So this is Larry Page saying, I want to build a search engine where you will be able to ask any query. Larry, what should I ask this morning? And my AI search engine will tell me. I've never forgot that because I was still young in the search retrieval industry and didn't know exactly what was happening, but that is what was going on. So this one, unbury the lead of this headline. Everything in this talk that I'm going to give you is derived from this simple fact that we're about to go over, okay? And so everything that those of you in the super intelligent AI members area, all the tools that you get to thrive, everything that I've been setting you guys up for success is all now active. It's super important because we just happened to be correct about what was going on. Google has changed their entire philosophy to query focus on AI mode search, away from organic click focus, claiming a 10% increase of searchers searching on the engine. And there are more searches than they had before due to the AI mode. Okay, this whole strategy is laid down by Sundar and makes Wall Street investors happy during the race for AI dominance. Here's a quick overview of a Cloudflare interview where he's seeing a massive rise of zero-click intent. Now, guys, what this means is that people are no longer clicking as much on the search engine, and we have numbers on all of this. Okay, and again, at the conference that really laid down the gauntlet and proved to me and our team that Google has won the AI race, that they've surrounded the camp and they got even, not angry. Okay. They've also managed to balance things out with their shareholders. So they're claiming a 10% increase of growth over time with visitors on the websites longer when they're coming from the AI mode, which we're going to get into. Okay. And again, it's important to understand that what this means is that organic content and SEO as we knew it is shifting towards showing up in the AI mode. Okay, it's not shifting, guys, it's host. All right, I'm going to call it what it is here. And that's why I prepared Move 37 and Local Agency Elite for all of you. And our sub-trainings too, like Jimmy Kelly Entity Reloaded and Eureka Gain Calculator Score, now that's because we now know what we know. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at, we see that they're happier with their results and they search more often. What this means, again, this is Sundar talking about the increase of overall visitors to Google as a search engine because of the AI overview. That's the AI that you find at the top of a search function in Google Experiments. AI mode is even deeper than that. They're going to build a query engine or even a meta prompt engine just like you use with ChatGPT or Claude. They're moving in that direction with search results. The key takeaway is that clicks on Google AdWords are now baseline. This is what I want all of you guys to understand. Okay, what this means is that Google AI overview is on on the page as compared to when they were not on the page. That's that result, okay, when you're looking for a term. So what this means is that they've been testing us over the last few months. And they found out that even if they do not put the Google AI overview in, they're getting roughly the same balanced baseline. Baseline means that their ad networks, Google AdWords, is not going to be destroyed, and their shareholders are not going to get upset because they're not losing any money when they put these overview. Okay? And this is the main thing that I want you to know. To make things more clear for you, if you look up something, this is an AI overview. Okay? And this AI overview is right here. And they are showing is that there's a massive decrease in traffic to these top rankings, which means top rankings here are not even the point anymore. But their ads, look at the sponsored ads right here. Okay, the sponsored ads are going up while the local, while these organic rankings are being deprecated. Guys, people want to pretend that you shouldn't talk about this stuff, but we prepared you for a reason because we saw the writing on the wall. And I'm not saying that to congratulate anything. I'm saying it so that you understand why we did what we did and why we didn't launch Move 37 full on right away. Okay? So for example, Move 37 is our training and mastermind that we made sure that as many people as we could had access to it because we were preparing for Gemini 2.5 and what's called infinite contextual search or context memory, which they're rolling out. Okay? Let's take a look at what we mean by this. In this interview, one of the interviewers said, how is your advertising revenue per query with an AI overview on the search engine's result page? And Sundar answered, our AdWords revenue with an AI overview on the page is the same baseline as it was when there was not an AI overview on the page. Okay? And this is important because let's go ahead and look at this a little bit more. Because now, we'll get into this shortly, this AI overview was only an experiment to determine whether or not they could normalize their ad budget and make Wall Street happy and their investors happy so they could roll out AI mode, which is now going to take over everything. We actually call this AI verdict mode. We've developed new technologies, insights, and overviews that you're going to understand that nobody else in the world is really going to fully grasp, except maybe a few of the people that we know in our posse. People like, of course, internal to us is Daryl Osborne. Jimmy Kelly understands entities very deeply. Also, my friend Jason Barnard from ColleQ. There's only a few people that were prepared really for this change at any kind of depth. Okay, so that's really what we're going to get into here. Now let's go ahead and look at this. So this whole thing was a preparation for their stock. Their shareholders needed to know that they could put the AI overview in there without killing AdWords. Okay, now whether or not they're playing loosely with the truth, or whether it's true or not, they're certainly being very opaque to SEOs because the Google Search Console is not telling us you can't opt out of Google Overviews AI. This is their way of slowly surrounding the camp so that Perplexity AI, ChatGPT even in some sense, and later Claude, and all the other engines are not going to be done, especially Bing and Bing ChatGPT is not going to be top of mind for the branding around AI. They're going to win this battle. We're going to talk about why. Okay, so here's a quick overview. Now is the time for answer engine optimization, which is all the stuff that we're putting together. Daryl and I are putting together we're going to start revealing the transparent things we've created for you. Reputation boost, okay, review optimization, Eureka Gain content optimization, specialized traffic and impression integration. Okay, I'm going to show you my own traffic system, which I've never shown anyone before. We weren't going to give that to you until we knew what was here, guys, because I didn't want to give you the wrong thing. Okay, Jimmy's got a traffic system called Tiger. Kaylin and I have our own. We have somewhere around 2.3 million available impressions, and we have to use them very carefully. We fluctuate between 2 and 9 on our own system. Daryl has his traffic systems. We're testing traffic systems every day. Okay, and now I need to talk to you about them. Okay, AI enhanced one web ring system and everything which we have been preparing you. Move 37 and is an official launch. Here is why. We're going to talk to you about why. In February, we covered how Google's AI overviews really hurt the click-through rate. Look at this. Ahrefs data, which I trust quite a bit, is 34.5% lower average click-through, or CTR, for the top ranking page compared to similar informational keywords. Okay? So we're really talking about how do you help your client? Guys, I know in your mind there's two different worlds. There should be a left brain and a right brain. Your left brain should be Google local maps, maps engine optimization, as Kaylin calls it. Your right brain should really be national and answer engine optimization. And you put those two things together. We want you to be able to optimize for maps and manage people's Google business profiles because it's a good way to start your business and it's a good way to keep in the game and get paid. But this is the data across everything, not just local, but national. Click-through rates decline 15%. AI, when the AI overviews are on the page. This is the point I'm trying to show you. When the AI overviews are on the page, AI overviews on the page, AI overviews on the page. So now we have like 5 different sources of data between February, all say that AI overviews lead to significantly lower click-through rates. Guys, we can match this for sure. We know that this is a really big problem. Okay, so what they're talking about here is generative AI at scale of human curiosity. We're going to go over some of the things that we talked about in the event. Okay, the reason is I want you to understand what they're rolling out and how they've surrounded the camp. Because by understanding how they surround the camp, okay, remember when I showed you Larry Page talking almost 20 years ago about Google will do the Googling for you? And his original dream was, hey, I want to get up in the morning. I don't even know what I should be searching for. This speaks to recursive symbolic search and all the AI engines training themselves, right? They want to get to a point where, this is why we're calling it the verdict economy, if you can see this up here. The reason we're doing that, and we're going to talk more about this, we have a very advanced psychological approach to prepare you and insulate you from the catastrophe or the potential catastrophe of the psychological impact for both you and your clients on this, because you're going to be the only viable solution for your clients when you understand what I'm about to tell you. That's why we're going to cover this over 2 or 3 different videos. I'm not going to be able to cover it all in one because we've been preparing this for you for a couple of weeks. Okay, so the very advanced pre-AGI Gemini model is now 100% integrated into Google Search. Okay, so what's happening now is this AI mode. Notice how to buy chess pieces. It's going to bring up the ads. Okay, so what do we mean by verdict engines? Verdict engines can be like when we say something like Parkside painting reviews. That's an old keyword. Whoops, let's go here. Parkside painting reviews, somebody we've worked with before. You can see the Cora is right here. This is the Cora. This is when you have, let's go ahead and search again. When you have this, the AI overviews coming up here, and you see one of our sites here, this is a verdict. Parkside Painting operating out of Oak Bay, British Columbia has an A+ rating. See how it gave a verdict? And it's not just a verdict on reviews. Reviews are an easy way to understand what our system is calling the AI verdict engine, the verdict economy. This is really important because it's showing, it's giving an opinion here. It's acting as an influence. It's saying Quora featuring one of reviews praising their service, specifically mentioning Nick. That Quora feature is us. That was a true review that we lifted to prominence using our Quora method that we've got to show you. Okay? But now it's urging us to go to AI mode. And if I click that, it moves over to AI mode. Okay, and you can see Reddit comes up, and you're going to be hearing a lot more about Reddit. We pushed the Better Business Bureau really hugely for them in our traffic system, which we're going to show you. But look at this. This is the verdict. Okay, one critical review on Yelp. It's actually taking all of that and summarizing it, but it takes summarization to a whole new level. When it's giving an opinion, positive experience, okay, that's a verdict engine. Okay, that's what we're calling these guys inside of our secret organization here, which you are a part of. Limited negative feedback. Okay, now let's go one step further. Let's go back. Okay. Is it a trustworthy company with good reviews? Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at that. It's BBC accredited. There's nothing coming back in this particular one. The business has committed to upholding business standards and trust. But I go over to AI mode. Let's see what it does. Okay, it's bringing back some of the things that we worked on. Based on the information available, Parkside Painting appears to be a trustworthy company with good reviews. Now, guys, I have many, many slide presentations I'm going to show you on video 2 of all the different answer engines from Perplexity to Meta to and how they all come back with positive reviews based on this and many other websites. This is just one client we worked very, very briefly on their reviews. Okay, so this is what I'm saying is like your reviews, your AI systems are going to give you verdicts They're going to become a new type of influencer on the internet. Okay, that's the main thing. So a very advanced pre-AI AGI Gemini model is now 100% integrated into Google All Search. Okay, and this is really entities. So we're going to talk about how important all of this is with Quora Boost and other stuff that we've taught you. How Quora within our one web ring system is designed to thrive, not just survive the AI answer engine revolution. And you guys are in a position to have all of our best stuff on this. Because many of the things that we're teaching you cover more than one layer at the same time. Not just reviews for local, but for your entire empire, which is your answer engine optimized website combined with your brand notoriety or your client's brand within that. So here's the main thing to understand is that a new Gemini pre-AJ model allows Google to focus on real-time information. Okay, their claim, this is from the conference, okay? Real-time ranking. Okay, if you know how to use Schema, Quora, and Eureka Game, which we're doing, you're going to have deep integration into real-time ranking as we move on. Ranking quality systems. Much will depend upon context. Okay, meaning Eureka Game, Insight Gain, all of this will become a part. A new agent, if agents write in your browser, will know what is on your screen. I know some of you are like, well, that's not creepy at all. Well, this is where we're going, guys. Expect AI agents to become reputation influencers. Okay, that's really what we want to be for both business and personal preference and for your future customers of your clients. Customers see our review, keywords example. There's many multiple engines. I'm going to show you that in video 2. Okay, we're going to first go over what happened at the conference. But here's an example of what it looks like. Okay, you can see right here in my browser in the upper right. This was just my Milanote where I'm working on, my website and working on some things. You can see right up here in the browser, it's Gemini, but this is Gemini inside of Chrome. And so list key strategic focuses. It's reading this stuff, guys. Okay, right in my browser. It's telling me, I'm even in a logged in area, and it's telling me, hey, this is AEO mindset for members and narrow the beam. It's telling me what's on all of my things because Chrome is now reading what's in your browser if you turn it on. And so many people won't care about this. It's really quite extraordinary. They'll just give all that data away for the convenience. Okay. Main thing is that real-time information, ranking quality systems, and new agentive. So Liz goes on to talk about real-time information, 1 trillion entities. The main thing I want you guys to realize is that the reason we're so far ahead is that the Gemini pre-AGI will use to answer any length of questions. Okay. So Gemini pre-AGI can simply break down entities, which is what Daryl and I have been teaching you. Jimmy's been teaching you entities. Okay, so they've got all their fancy pictures, all that. Like we talk about with Daryl, myself, Kaylin, and Jimmy, and other super intelligent instructors, these 1 trillion facts, the part I want you guys to understand, are people, places, and things. I guess we saw this coming. Okay, these are the entities. That's the main thing. Okay, so she then went on to emphasize unparalleled ranking with these 1 trillion entities, which double, triple, and quadruple down. So what Google's doing is they are going to double down in the age of Gemini Advanced on their move towards AI general intelligence. Remember the future of search map I gave you above? Okay, they're going to double down. So all these boxes when she was giving her talk, those are entities, persons, places, and things. And they're very proud of their AI entity standards. Okay, so AI overviews is the first thing that she started to deal with. Okay, we're going to go ahead and look deeply into this. I wanted to point out to you, for those of you guys who miss it and who have taken our Quora training, and our new rollout Quora is going to be gigantic over the next few weeks. Those of you who've been already working on Quora, even though they did make a major change, and now you really have to be careful the way you submit your Quora inside the public area, which is the answer area. They changed all their standards. The blogs, which are really the meat of it anyways, it's 90% of what makes it work, are completely workable within the entities. In fact, that change is related to Google's change. Okay, so Quora is going to be, I just wanted to point out to you, is why she was talking on the stage, I thought it was really quite funny that when Liz was talking, that Quora showed up on the screen as one of the answers. And it just got funnier and funnier. So this happened several times during the conference where Quora, which is what we teach you, it's what we consider our backbone prominence platform. for AI agentic um, inception. Okay, you're going to want to learn how to use Quora to be able to feed all the other AI results that I'm going to show you on the next video. Okay. Additionally, um, the Move 37 Mastermind, we're going to roll out a lot of the new core stuff. We're going to clean up the stuff that was not usable, the stuff that is still useful but is little bit, you have to be a little bit more cautious about, such as putting your answers on your blog while at the same time inserting them in the answer area. You don't even need that for what we're trying to do. You just want to make sure that you're on the subdomain .quora.com as a wonderful way. And that's not about domain authority by itself. It's about the fact that it is a sponsored, high prominence, and high trust vector forum for Google. Okay, so we'll be doing a lot more of that in 2025. So what's rolled out on May 20th, just a few days ago, is AI overviews. Okay, and their plan by the end of the year is to roll this out to absolutely everybody in the world. Okay, it's a 100% AI-driven answer engine. Google is no longer a search engine, guys. The age of search is past. Okay, that's the main thing I want you guys to understand here. Is the age of search, okay, which I've been showing this over the last few months. Now we're finally going to finish this because we know it's accurate. As we go through these slides, we'll get more and more into this. So we can officially say that there's going to be almost nothing left of this. Entities will move forward to feed this. And we are in answer engines, yes. But what Google's about to do is provide 100% insight engine, okay, while they build their other innovation engines underneath it, such as AlphaGo and everything else, okay? Huge. So Google no longer cares as much about single keyword searches and is training the market to use Google All Search in long-form questions and prompt-like environments, okay? We're going to talk about this. So Liz goes on to talk about 10 entities in one, okay? And we have Daryl over here on the left because this should echo everything that Daryl and I have been teaching you for the last 15 years for some of you, as far back as entity establishment. Okay, so what Liz goes on, and a lot of people miss this, you can see she has 10 search query boxes here, is she was simply trying to emphasize that what I'm trying to tell you guys is you will be where very few students in the world, agency owners, AEO professionals are. Okay, because you already understand, at least theoretically, what's under the hood, because I've been training you for that with the future of search, with everything as far back as entity establishment, Jimmy teaching you on entities, on website structures. I know that you're drinking from a fire hose, but the underlying principle is quite simple. There's a connective tissue between the old search and the new, and that's schema, and basic insight into things like Quora and the rest. Okay, and your Google Business Profile Review Management. Those are the things that if you build your agency on that, as you'll see in the new AI mode verdict economy, where AI is laying down a verdict. Okay, they're laying down their opinion about who is and is not trustworthy, and who is and is not a brand that's worth clicking, and who is and is not contextually worthy to solve your problems or offer you products. This is going to be huge if you don't understand. It's going to be huge because your clients are not going to understand what's happening. They're going to be very confused as the traffic reduces. This is called multi-step reasoning, where multiple entities are used at the same time by Google Gemini as it moves towards artificial general intelligence for multi-step reasoning. Okay, so they give an example. Phrase 1, find the best yoga. In the past, it would have been best yoga or best yoga studio, right? This is an early search engine era. Okay, when we were back here, it would have been right here, just regular search engines 2.0 even. Okay, and then she went on to talk about the next search. Find the best yoga or Pilates studios in Boston, right? This is getting pretty advanced. This is almost moving towards an answer engine, okay, right here. But then she goes on to expand even more and turn this into a true prompt size. Find the best Pilates or yoga studio in Boston. Show details, their intro offers, and walking time from Beacon Hill. See that? That's a giant query. Now what that is that's multiple entities. So what it'll do is it'll start parsing all of the entities. Yes, guys, these are the same entities that we can work with in Schema, or we can build Quora exact blog subdomains for. Okay, this is a new way of thinking. You know, for most SEOs, this will be a new way of thinking about it. For you, it will not be a new way of thinking about it because you already understand the basics. Okay, don't have imposter syndrome here. Most people will think that they're not very smart, that they don't understand all this technical mumbo jumbo. Well, you don't have to understand every detail about how a technology works to understand, right? That wheels are round. You don't have to understand like the inner workings of a car, a distinction to understand the distinction between a horse and carriage and a NASCAR. Okay, like literally the old search engines that people are working on are still horse and carriage and buggy. Okay, you're driving a NASCAR, and you at least know, as long as you know the difference between one has an engine that is super fast and the other, and has a different kind of horsepower than the horse and buggy, then that's all you need to start using these technologies that we've been prepping you for. Okay, so you can see then it puts it all together. This is the main thing. And here's what it's done. Is it'll break it down into yoga, Pilates studios, Boston, 4.1 stars, and walk within a half an hour of Beacon Hill. Okay, so it'll break all these down, but notice how it's also putting in your reviews. Remember when I said it's a verdict engine? We're in the verdict economy. Okay? It's giving you the verdict. Okay, it's giving your client, which is Back Bay Yoga Union, or I don't care if it's a plumber or a lawyer or an attorney. You think the review catastrophe has been difficult up to this point? AI is now giving different opinions and overviews about your brand at scale. Okay, it's giving verdicts. It's become a judge and a juror. That's the main thing I want you guys to understand. We're going to talk about how to deal with that. But not only that, check it out. It's also showing what's called AI overview and AI integration right on the search engine on your phone. So see how the Maps application is embedded right into this? Okay. And you can see on Maps. Maps connects directly to the AE. Maps engine optimization is the future. Okay. So what is going on under the hood with Google in AI mode search? Okay. When I come back, I'm going to talk to you about exactly what's going on under the hood and tell you why we already have the super cool tools, why the tools that we've given you, including Embed My Reviews, the page software, and signals, why the one web ring system combined with Daryl's Surge is the verdict transition, where you can write your own story and narrative for yourself and your clients rather than be a victim of Google's AI mode and the verdict economy. And again, this is going to be a long diatribe, guys, but it's worth going through. And this presentation will be honed. But I wanted to make sure that members got this before we started honing some of these pieces for marketing and the rest, because now we're in full launch. This is going to be a catastrophe. You have heard catastrophes before in the search industry, but you guys are on the right side of history, having spent time being a little bit more technical than your average person out there. All right, so I'll see you on the next video where we'll go directly into what's going on in Google AI mode, search, and beyond. What's under the hood.